Hello and welcome to the 10th and final episode of How to Build a TMD. In this episode we will look at completing the model. In episode 9 we completed the hard standing area. Now we're going to look to continue with adding all the scenics and all of our extra detailing. Firstly, I mask off all of the track area to avoid anything getting onto the rails. Next I use a spray expanding foam to create the hills themselves and allow this to dry off overnight. The end result is a nice solid area suitable for taking scenery, which we can now cut. As I need to fit some of my structures into the scenic area, I figure out whereabouts and how deep I need to cut. Here, cutting right into the scenic bank and allowing space here also for my tanks. Next, I can then use a ready mixed plaster over the top of the foam, leave this overnight to dry, and this will give a nice solid base. Next, I can stick down the teddy bear fur that I had left over from the Churn Lane exhibition model, leave this to dry before attempting anything else. Using some sheet ply, I've attached a background to the ply and then fixed the background into position around the layout. This forms a nice case which is visually appealing. Now it's time to use all of the bits and pieces I've accumulated in the modelling box over the last few months and from exhibition visits. Most of all of these products now need to be placed onto the layout. So ballasting was completed first in this case, as per the usual method of some diluted PVA. Tanks added into position, some walls have been built as well. Foliage, trees, yard lamps, and some of the rest of the scenic details are all included. At the depot end, all of the scenic detailing, barriers, people, additional detailing have all been added into position. This gives quite a nice overall effect. Inside the depot building, I've got my tool cases, my steps for the locos, trolleys, pallets, barrels, so on and so forth. So all in all, this will look quite nice when looking into the depot itself. Here you can see the power feed coming up through the board, which is the quick connector onto the depot building for the lighting. Underneath the board, all lighting power is supplied through a 3-volt transformer. I've created a set here for some bus rails just to take the power into the micro LEDs. These have slotted into the spaces around the inspection pits. So hopefully this will actually light up quite effective. And effectively 2 cables feed all lighting on the layout. Should I wish to make this an operational model, then provision is also available to wire this up for power for both the points and the track, with the track also benefiting from wired isolated sections for DC running, or can be all grouped together for DCC. So here we have the completed model. The board itself has now been painted on the faces. A lid has also been provided, Idea will be that I will get some perspex to just go over the front of this to protect it from the dust. Overall, I think the layout looks visually appealing. Here we have it in the dark also, so you can see the lighting effect. You can see the lights, the batten lights here on the fuel stop also. On the outside, inside the porter cabin, outside lamps on the yard. We can look through the windows, which was the original intention from when I designed the building, to actually see what's inside. You can also see some of the lighting on the inspection pits if you look through the depot doors. Now I'm just going to place some of my locomotives from stock onto the board, just so we can see what this actually looks like. I'm really quite pleased with how the depot building itself worked out. You can see all the overhead lighting that was put in. That's covered in one of the very early episodes of this series. So there we go, that's the model completely finished. Really happy with how this has turned out. It's been quite a long project for me to complete. I really hope it inspires some of you out there to at least have a go and enjoy the hobby. Thanks ever so much for watching. Cheers.